Hello, hedge bangers. We're here. It may be a bit late. I'm sorry about that. Absolutely typical. Just before, as we went to go live, nothing happened. But luckily, I got my daughter out of her sick bed, and she limped to her computer, and she managed to find a problem, which seemed to be driver related, and restarted everything, reinstalled everything, and we're now with you. So apologies, but it couldn't be helped. And you can see how absolutely ready I am, because I haven't even got my guitar on. So we'll start off with the first song, and that might calm me down a bit, because I'm feeling a bit sort of discombobulated at the moment. I walked down on Broadway, a fair maid I did meet. She asked me to see her home, she lived in Bleecker Street. And the way is empty, my dear Annie. All you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? When we got to Bleecker Street, we stopped at 44. Her mother and her sister there to meet her at the door. And the way is empty, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? When we got inside her house, the drinks were passed around. The liquor was so awful strong, my head went round and round. And the way you Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? And then we had another drink before we sat to eat. The liquor was so awful strong, I quickly fell asleep. And the way is Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? When I awoke next morning, I had an aching head. There was I, Jack, all alone, stark naked in the bed. And the way is Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? My gold watch and my pocketbook and lady friend were gone. There was I, Jack, all alone, stark naked in the room. And away is Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? On looking round this little room, there's nothing I could see but a woman's shift and an apron that were no use to me. Way is Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? With a flour barrel for a suit of clothes, down Cherry Street forlorn. Then Martin Churchill took me in and sent me round Cape Horn. And away is Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? I say, sir, are you a matelot? Be careful what you say, sir. We're on board ship here, you know. Stole that excerpt from Steel I Span. And the late Peter Sellers, the late great Peter Sellers. Wow, what a man he was. Hope you enjoyed that, even if it was half an hour late getting to you. So, what have you been up to this week? You can see I've moved, and I've moved into a forest. You know, I thought it was a nice place to live. Very sort of Robin Hood, which sort of suits the name really, doesn't it? And But what else have I been doing this week? Let's see. Well, no, I'll tell you what we've got for you this week. We've got Shadow Sway. Shadow Sway, an American duo. They're absolutely fabulous. We've got a video from them. We've got a track from Robin James Hurt and his latest album. And this week's special guest is Sophie Janna, who's recorded a special set for us, especially for the Hedge at home. And this week's studio technician is Magic Mike. So Mike's on the controlling the cameras from the People's Democratic Republic of Bunwell. Well, about as People's Democratic as you can get around Norfolk, that is, anyway. So the weather's just been damned awful, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's been cold. We've had hail in May. It was raining cats and dogs. I mean, I went outside. I stepped right in a poodle. It was unbelievable. And I haven't been able to do any gardening. All my remaining plants, they're still sheltering in my little mini greenhouse. There's geraniums, petunias, mini little sunflowers, and loads more lobelia. And I just haven't been able to get them out. So I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow the weather will be a bit better and I can get some of them put out. In the meantime, I've been keeping myself busy watching Formula One and West Ham. Oh, and Line of Duty. Did you work out who H was? Eh? It was a complete surprise. So after all this time, we find out it's Buckles. Oh, sorry, I should have warned you. Spoilers. Oh well, if you missed it now, you're 6 years too late. So it's been really good. And I'll tell you what else I've been doing. I've been getting ready for the summer and I've been making wands. Now, I didn't know if you all knew this, but I do. I make wands for a hobby. And this last week or two, I've been making ones. Well, this is an old one. This is made out of blackthorn. And these latest ones are made out of oak. And there's a silver one. And this one's a gold one. And you see they all have a crystal point. They have a semi-precious stone in a cage and a little charm at the bottom. And I take them out to the festivals, hopefully, and we'll be selling them. So if anybody wants a wand, get in touch. So that's what I've been doing with myself the last week or so. You would have thought that maybe I would have checked all the drivers to make sure that this was going to work, but I didn't. So more for me. I know to do that in the future. Anyway, on to our first video. And our first video, some weeks ago, I was contacted by Sheila of White Moon Productions in the USA. And she told me of a duo she represents called Shadow Sway. Now, Shadow Sway is a duo project, and it's born of a long-time musical collaboration between Hayley Lauren and Daniel Gallo. I've got to say, actually, when you listen to their music, they are really storytellers. And, you know, and they tell their stories by creating songs that explore, as they say, themes of surrender, loss, love, resilience, and the ecstasy of longing. So tell me what you think after you've watched their video. And this is Sweet Surrender.
Sweet surrender, don't you know, my time has come to go. Warm and tender like The knife rests on the table. The fruit taste on my lips fades like a story I've been told. Sweet surrender, don't you know? My end has come in time. Warm and tender dying sun slowly circles, spitting rhymes. The book sits on the table. The last page, a fable where time is sinking like gold.
So there you go. That's Sweet Surrender from Shadow Sway. It's beautiful, isn't it? And absolutely beautifully filmed. It was really sort of evocative. Absolutely lovely. So don't forget, coming up later we have our special guest, Sophie Janna. I'm not sure if she's in the house yet. Yes, she is. Oh, she thinks it was a beautiful song and a beautiful video. So there you go. She's got a great little video out at the moment. Sophie's got this new single out, and she's got a video to go with it. And there's what we in the UK would call a little Easter egg on it. You have to look. I can't tell you what it is, but you've got to watch the video and watch it closely. And then somewhere around about the middle of it, you will see something happen in the background, and you've got to look out for it. It really is fantastic. Loved it. So that's what we've got coming up. We've also got Robin James Hurt coming up as well with his version of Billy Bragg's Between the Wars. I suppose really I ought to just get on with it, hadn't I? So we're running late, and you know people will be worried about things, and they'll be wanting to get on and drink their beer. I know I want to get on and drink my beer. Red hot sun burns up the hill. The winter's bright, the summer's king. I tramp these acres and I feel once upon a time. And then it seemed everything you saw and touched and felt was real. You turn the tap, you turn the wheel. Once in a lifetime, you live and love. Once in a lifetime, you die. I searched the open evening sky, trace the memory in your eyes, for the prophet's heart rain and the deluge lie in tears around your door. Oh, once there were trees and livestock here, a mother's love, the warning's clear. You chose to turn away from fear, breathing free. Once in a lifetime you live and love, once in a lifetime you die, once in a moment the sun goes down. Protect and survive, protect and survive. Now there's a faceless cross on a distant hill, a wasted voice, a silent scream, where the lovers love and the dreamers dream. You stand and dream alone. You took your sacrifice to the gods of war, traded your children's life for a mess of gold. You beat your plowshares into swords, breathing free. Once in a lifetime you live and love, once in a lifetime you die. Once in a moment the sun goes down. Protect and survive, protect and survive, protect and survive, protect and survive. Protect and Survive by the McDonald Brothers. Oh, do you know, I feel all sort of I feel really weird. You know, that half an hour sort of not knowing whether the show was going to be able to go on or not really sort of set me back. So let's tell you, in 2 weeks' time, we're actually going to be taking the show on the road. Yeah. We're going to go off again to Cropredy in Oxfordshire. And somebody that's watching tonight actually is Bob. And Bob's going to be there. And a few other people are going to be there. We don't know exactly how many. What we do know is that we're going to have an audience. And it's going to be great, you know, because for the first time, I sit here all on my own. Mike is over in Bunwell. Or if Becca's doing it, she's over in Hainford. So we're always, you know, I set everything up. It's horrible because you haven't got that interaction. I rely on you lot. I rely on all your comments and everything. So it is really great to have you commenting as I'm presenting these shows, because it just makes me feel like I've got an audience and there's somebody interested. I mean, I know you're not watching for me. I know you're watching for the others, but there you go. Anyway, we'll have Mike actually with me, helping with the broadcast. He's going to bring his laptop, and we're going to hope the 4G signal holds up. And we'll still have your mix of chat and videos and things like that. But we shall even have some audience participation. We are planning shanties. Yay! So, you know, let's hope that's going to happen and everything goes better than it did at the beginning tonight, eh? Oh, right. On to our next video. Our next video is from Robin James Hurt. Now, he's a great favourite of Trevor Key on Blowing in the Windham. Robin was Belfast born, but he was then brought up in Scotland, but he now lives in County Wexford. And as I say, Trevor Key plays his stuff quite a lot, and he's actually vowed to play a track from his album every week until he gets through the whole album. By which time he'll probably have a new album out, and he'll be playing a track from that. But he's really great as Robin. and this is his version of Billy Bragg's Between the Wars.
I was a miner, I was a docker, I was a railwayman between the wars. I raised a family in times of austerity, with sweat at the foundry between the wars. I paid the union, and as times got harder, I looked to the government to help the working man. But they brought prosperity down at the armory. We're arming for peace, my boys, between the wars. I kept the faith, I kept voting, not for the iron fist, but for the helping hand. For theirs is a land with a wall around it, and mine is a faith in my fellow man. Theirs is a land of hope and glory, mine is the green field and the factory floor. Theirs are the skies, all dark with bombers, and mine is the peace we knew between the wars. Call up the craftsmen, bring me the draftsmen, build me a path from cradle to grave, and I'll give my consent to any government that does not deny a man a living wage. Go find a young man, never to fight again. Bring up the banners from the days gone by. Sweet moderation, heart of this nation, desert us not, we are between the wars.
Oh, I can see there's a lot of love for that video on Facebook. So lots of people pressing the like button and all that. I haven't really looked at the phone, so just want to say thanks, Brian Temple. The energy is reciprocal, plenty of positive vibe, even virtually. Kevin Rowan Druitt, yeah, you're doing great. Bob Carter's looking forward to 2 weeks' time. Sophie Janna, she's sympathising about the lack of a live audience. Says it's completely understandable. And yeah, isn't it, Sophie? John Ludwig is Sophie Janna, we are waiting. Don't worry, John, you don't have to wait too much longer. You've only got one more song from me and a little bit of chat. And a few people that seem to be a bit late joining today. So they didn't notice that we were 30 minutes late. So they've probably been thinking, God, what's been going on? Thought they might have missed something. I noticed also that Sophie Hamilton is watching. And that's very important, actually, because in 4 weeks' time, we will be having the Mojo Preachers. Yeah, a whole band are going to record a set for us. They're a brilliant blues band with Sophie Hamilton on lead vocals. Various other people whose names I don't know, but I know my mate Andy Walker. He's their lead guitarist as well. And they are a really good band, so watch out for that one. Well, I suppose we better get on, and I'll do my last song and then we'll put Sophie on. You come home late, you come home early. You come on big when you're feeling small. You come home straight, you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. What in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns with a fever. I got a worried and a jealous mind. How can a love that'll last forever now get left so far behind? What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. It's a mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow. You crossed that evil line today. How can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't got one word to say? What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. Oh, what in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. that's John Prine's The Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. To my mind, the best song he ever wrote, but I'm sure other people will disagree. Well, we come to that time of the night. Thank goodness, I hear you say. We're going to get a guest on. Well, yes, we are going to get a guest on. And we're going to get a very special guest on this time. And it's a lady I bumped into a few weeks back. She contacted me to send me a video of her playing live. You may remember we played it last week. And I thought, oh, she's rather good. So cheekily, I asked if she would do a set for the Hedge at home. And amazingly, she agreed, because basically I think she's been so bored with lockdown and the lack of gigs that she just felt it would be really great to do a little set somewhere, you know. So, thank you, Sophie. I was so touched that you actually wanted to do this for us. So what can I tell you about Sophie Janna? Sophie is from the Netherlands, and she fell in love with traditional folk music in Edinburgh, and she took that love back to her hometown of Amsterdam. These sort of traditions have also inspired her songwriting, and she's got a really clear, subtle voice. And honestly, she is going to entrance you. And you, at the end of this, most of the men watching will probably have fallen in love all over again. All right? She's a multi-instrumentalist, and she's really well known in Europe, especially on the festival scene, as part of the folk duo The Lasses. And as I was saying earlier, and she'll tell you about it in the video, in the set, she's got a new single out. So I've been doing my little search on Google. Like most English people, I'm not very good at foreign languages. But hopefully, Sophie Janna, welcome by the Hedge, which I think is Dutch for welcome to the Hedge at home. Sophie Janna.
Hey, I'm Sophie, and I know what you're gonna say, it's too dark in here, but I really wanted to sit here because this show is called The Hedge at Home, and I wanted to sit next to my hedge. But then it turned out to be really cold, and also my neighbor is working in his garden, making lots of noise. So I have to be inside, and but I wanted to show you my hedge anyway, since we are at the Hedge at Home. This is my hedge, this is my home. I'm so glad you're watching. I'll play you a song that I recorded with my duo, The Lasses, and it's called The Tide. It was written by my friend Jack Durdnall from London, and I think it's a perfect song for the lockdown we're still in here. Embers on the water, the sun fades clear, and the moon will soon be laughing down as our eyes rest again on the same cold sphere, on her icy beauty, the ocean's crown. And we're turning on the tide, the tide and the tide, the waves on your shore, the silence and the roar that cuts across the space
touch, your glow, the echoes of your closeness resound in me. And we're turning on the tide and the time, the waves on your shore, the silence and the roar that cuts across the space and time between our walls, as I feel your senses call and our hearts pitch and roll on the swell of the tide.
I can actually hear the birds outside. I wish you could have heard them too if I would have been outside, but maybe another time. I played this song in a tiny version for you because I've got so many songs I want to play, and half an hour is really not long. The full version is up on Spotify on the Lasses profile, and there's also a beautiful French horn in that arrangement played by Morris Kliphuis, who's a prize-winning jazz horn player in the Netherlands. Oh, actually, he lives in Germany now. Yes, I wanted to sing for you a song I've been singing for a long time, and I put a version up on my Instagram profile recently, and then somebody asked me if this song was on Spotify, and it is, but also in a completely different arrangement, and I thought maybe I can play around with it and do yet another arrangement for you. I want to revive it and play it more often because it's one of my favorite songs to sing. I learned it when I lived in Edinburgh a couple of years ago. I think from the singing of Emily Smith. It's a Robert Tannehill song, Weaver.
Fly we to some desert isle, there we'll pass our days together, shun the world, rise if smile, wandering tenants of the heather, sheltered in some lonely glen, far removed, free mortal can forget the selfish ways of men, nor feel a wish beyond each other. Though my friends deride me still, Jamie honest on thee, never let them scorn me as they will. I'll be thine and thine forever. What are all my kin to me? What their pride and pedigree? What were life if wanting thee? And what were death if we must sever? Fly we to some desert isle, there we'll pass our days together, shun the world to rise if smile, wandering tenants of the heather, sheltered in some lonely glen, far removed, free mortal can forget the selfish ways of men, nor feel a wish beyond each other.
Oh my goodness. I get just as nervous playing for you as for my piano teacher when I was still going to piano lessons. Yes, so I forgot half of that arrangement. I I apologize. I was thinking when I was practicing this morning that I should put numbers on here so I wouldn't forget which ones to play, since it's a completely new arrangement. And when I get nervous, I tend to forget stuff. And also my laptop suddenly started to make a lot of noise, and I pray that you don't hear that in the recording, because I put up an expensive microphone especially for you, and I don't want to have lots of noise in the recording. I'm thinking whether I should stop and start again, but I've already done that once. You don't know that. So, and I don't have all the time in the world because I have to pick up my baby from daycare in a little bit. So I think I'm just gonna keep going, and I apologize if the sound is not as good as planned, because that's really annoying. Maybe I'm going to move the microphone a tiny bit. So, and then hopefully you won't hear the noise of the laptop that much. Okay, I'm going to sing for you a song that I released as a single 2 weeks ago. And I worked on that song with my friends from Upcycled Sounds. That's a label in Oxford. I met Nico, who started that label a couple years ago, when he was on a bicycle trip through Europe, and he went to the Irish session that I always go to in Amsterdam, and he asked me if I wanted to be recorded by him, and that's how our friendship started. And a couple of years ago, he was joined by Hannah Jacobs, so they run the label together now, and Jake's made this beautiful arrangement for this song. But she kicked out the guitar, and now I'm going to play it to you with guitar, since Jake's is not here. And the song is called Wide World. I was awake and you were asleep. I was drowning in worry, the spinning wheel. I turn away from you, 'cause I wanna hide the morning I fear, so I keep it inside. But won't you stay here? Call this your home. The world is too wide to travel alone. Songbirds are singing to welcome the morning. I see nothing but darkness that I wanna fade in. I don't dare to tell you, but I light up the day. My silly old dreams, they'll scare you away. But won't you stay here? Call this your home. The world is too wide to travel alone. And then you wake up and reach out your arm and pull me towards you. Won't you stay here? Call this your home. The world is too wide to travel alone. Won't you stay here? Call this your home. The world is too wide to travel. The world is too wide to travel. Thank you. I am playing on a different guitar than I usually am because my Guild guitar didn't like the winter so much and didn't like moving so much because I recently moved house and now the guitar needs some work, so it's off to the luthier. I've never pronounced that word in English before, so I'm not quite sure if that's the right way to pronounce it. Anyway, I was watching Rob's show from 2 weeks ago. Oh. And I heard him talk about the sunflowers he planted in his garden. And I actually planted a sunflower as well. I've planted it, well, I've put the seed in the soil inside, so pre-planted it, whatever you call it. And it's actually on its way. Look, it's just a single one, so... Oh no, hey, actually I see a second one. You see it? So I hope I'll have 2 sunflowers here in the summer. I planted a whole lot of other stuff, but most of it is not showing yet. Although there's a tiny little thing here. I don't know what the English word is for this one anyway. It's a blue flower. We call it cornflower. Maybe it's cornflower in English as well. I'm not quite sure. All right. Oh, I wanted to tell you something about that song I just played as well. So it's called Wide World, and since we are in lockdown and I have not been able to play, normally I perform maybe 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, and now suddenly all the time was spent inside. So I learned a lot of new skills. One of them was lino cutting, and I thought I wanted to have a lino cut for the artwork for my new single, White World, and normally I would ask my sister to do that because she's really good at lino cutting, but she is doing a PhD in Oslo right now, and so I didn't want to bother her too much because I know how much time it takes. And so instead we had a little workshop on Zoom, and she taught me how to do it in March, and then it was really snowy here in March, and my artwork is inspired by the snow, so it's a snowy landscape with 2 swans, which I thought go really well with the lyrics for White World. And this is now a postcard that I made, and everybody who's going to buy my single from my Bandcamp page will get a couple of these cards, or at least that's the plan that I have thought up today. So I'm going to put these up on my Bandcamp page. Also, everybody who buys my old record will get it as well. I'm just so happy with them, so I'm going to send them to anyone, I guess. All right, I have time left for a couple of extra songs. Obviously, well, my set list is not over yet. And I thought, since you can tell from my accent that I'm not British or Irish or American or Scottish, I'm Dutch, so I thought I'll play you a traditional Dutch song that I learned. I think I learned it from my mom. I'm from a singing family. We all used to sing. And this is a song about a man who travels around making knives sharp. I don't know what the word for that is in English. It's scharesliep in Dutch. And he's really happy with his profession. That's what he sings about. Komt vrienden in het rond, de minnaars van hele stiel. Ik zal u gaan verkondigen hoe ik door het slijpers wiel. De kost verdient voor vrouw en kind schoon blootgesteld aan weer en wind. De vrouw die roept Victoria over de slijperstiel. Zij vindt de grootste gloria in slijpen van haar wiel. Mijn kinderen hebben groot gemak, zij lopen met de bedels af. Van linksom, rechtsom, draait met de steendere roede van mijn been. Acht vrienden nu voor het les, de ambachten zijn goed. Maar het mijn is toch het beste, schoon ik soms slapen moet. Op hooi en strooi in hele stal, toch heb ik kost voor niemand al. Van linksom, rechtsom, draait met de steendere roede van mijn been. Van linksom, rechtsom, draait met de steendere roede van mijn been. Well, I'm wondering if you ever heard that one before. So, Rob, you've learned a Dutch word, schadesliep. And you means nothing really, it's just a word you use to speed up horses or the big wheel that you use to make your knife sharp. So, that's schadesliep for you. And I thought, Rob, you said you like Beeswing so much and you like my version of it. So I thought I'll play you Beeswing, something you know after all this new stuff. So. I was 19 when I came to town. They call it the summer of love. There were burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the doves. I took a job in the steamery down on Cauldron Street, and I fell in love with a laundry girl who was working next to me. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine her breath the wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. Run a zigzag round her face and a look of half surprise, like a fox caught in the headlights. There was animal in her eyes. And she said, oh man, can't you see I'm not the factory kind? If you don't take me out of here, I'll surely lose my mind. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine that you might crush her where she lay. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. So we busked around the market towns and picked fruit down in Kent, and we could tinker lamps and pots and knives wherever we went. And I said that we might settle down, get a few acres dug, with a fire burning in the hearth and babies on the rug. And she said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You might be lord of half the world, you'll not own me as well. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine her breath the wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. So we camped around the Gower one time, the work was pretty good. She thought we shouldn't wait for the frost, and I thought maybe we should. We were drinking more in those days, and tempers reached a pitch. I like a fool, I let her on with a rambling itch. last I hear, she's sleeping rough back on the Derby beat. White horse in her hip pockets and a wolfhound at her feet. And they say she even married once to a man named Romany Brown, but even a gypsy caravan was too much settling down. And they say her flower has faded now, hot weather and hard booze, but maybe that's just in the price you pay for the chains that you refuse. She was a rare thing, fat as a bee's wing, and I miss her more than ever words can say. If I could just taste of her wildness now, if I could just hold her in my arms today, then I wouldn't want her any other way. Oof, I still really love that song. I heard it first at the Royal Oak session in Edinburgh, played by Frank Burkett, who's a really great songwriter, and you should check him out. And I didn't know Richard Thompson at the time, but now I've seen Richard Thompson live quite a few times, and I've seen his amazing guitar playing. I'm really embarrassed by the simple version that I play, but you know, I'm here all by myself, and nobody else can play the guitar for me right now, so here we go. All right, I was planning on singing you a song that I also know from the Royal Oak Backroom session. It's a song that Sheila Stewart used to sing at the end of her gigs. I've got one more song to go after this, I think. But still, I'm going to sing it to you now. It's a really good session song. There's a couple of Zoom sessions on the internet nowadays. And I joined one this Tuesday. And it turned out that a Zoom singing session is just as scary as a real live one. It was as if I was walking into a group who'd known each other for years, and they all take turns singing a song, and it was really scary to sing as well. And they recognized the new face straight away. So the lady who was running it, Janna, immediately said, "Do you want to sing a song? Shall I put you on the list?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." But then they made me do it anyway, and it was really nice to sing. And we were all supposed to sing May songs. This one's definitely not a May song, but it's a really nice one. So anyway, that's why I wanted to tell you this. Everybody was doing a cappella songs, and that's just so nice. And you don't need anybody to play instruments. And although I really love to play with people playing instruments, I love songs and their lyrics so much. And when you sing a cappella, that really stands out. There's nothing else than the song itself. So here's to the company. Kind friends and companions, come join me in rhyme, and lift up your voices in chorus with mine. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain, for we may and might never all meet here again. Now here's to the wee lass that I love so well. For style and for beauty there's none can excel. She looks at me kindly as she sits on my knee, and there's none in this wide world as happy as me. So here's to the company, likewise to my lass. Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain, for we may and might never all meet here again. My ship lies in harbor, she's ready to sail. God grant her safe voyage without any guilt. And if we should meet again on land or on sea, Let's drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let's drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For we may and might never all meet here again. For we may and might never all meet here again. Thank you. And I hope there will be a time soon when I don't have to sing this to my laptop anymore. And when I won't have to be distracted by sound levels and noise of laptops and neighbors drilling, where I can just sing at a venue and see you in the audience. I'm really grateful that you're watching, because at least this enables me and Rob and every musician to keep going. But I really can't wait for a proper gig. That having said, if you do want to support me, you can by following me somewhere on social media or sending me a message. And I also have a tip jar, a PayPal account. So that's paypal.me/Sophie Janna. And you can find it in my link tree, another nice modern thing. And you can find the link tree, you type in linktree/Sophie Janna, and there's a dot in the middle of tree. So after tr.ee/Sophie Janna, that's my link tree. There you can find everything I do. I promised you one more song, so I'm going to play to you one more song. Oh, I forgot that this is a different guitar. It's a different guitar than I normally play. That makes it really difficult because it's such a small one. This old cuckoo flowered and a lion booming in the shoulder. Will you still be there when I'm older? I need you on my horizon. This old cuckoo flowered and a lion. This old cuckoo flowered and a lion. Can't you see how much I'm trying? They don't try to understand. Well, what is there to stand on? This old cuckoo flowered and a lion. This old cuckoo flowered and a lion. Please much for listening to me, and thank you so much for bearing with me while I play songs for an audience, which I haven't done for quite a while. And thank you, Rob, for the invitation. And I wish you a very pleasant continuing of the show. So hope to see you in real life someday. So, bye.
Thank you so much, Sophie Janna. I mean, you know, that was brilliant, and I could see the all the comments that were coming up all the time. They were brilliant. If you can support Sophie or any of our artists tonight, please do so. We did put the little link up. PayPal me /2TO Sophie Janna, spelled JANNA. Or there's the link tree Sophie Janna. So that's linktr.ee/Sophie Janna. Oh, well, and Sophie, thanks for playing Bees Wings. She did that especially for me because I said how much I loved the song and I loved the version of it that I saw. And I'm sure that if she's quick enough, she will put the link up if you want to tune into any of her lockdown sessions. So maybe if Sophie, if you can put the link up, then people can watch you live yet again, like I did the other week. Well, that's it. We've done it. Oh, bit of a relief, isn't it? You know, it all went a bit wrong at the beginning, but we're there. We got to the end. And don't forget, in 2 weeks' time, on the 22nd of May, we have the Hedge on holiday with Bob Carter and hopefully some other special guests. And we'll be live from the old dairy farm in Cropredy in Oxfordshire. And I got no idea why they started going like that, because they don't speak like that at all in Oxfordshire. I got no idea what the Oxfordshire accent is like. Then on the 5th of June, we will have a special set recorded for the Hedge at Home by this top blues band, the Mojo Preachers. So we've got something really special to look forward to. Right, I suppose we better get around to finishing. There was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, if you did miss the beginning or something like that, then I'm going to be putting everything up on YouTube, because I have noticed there's a few people that are missing that would have normally tuned in, so they probably thought we weren't going to go live and haven't come back to us. But you know, if you tell people it'll be on the YouTube, just go to YouTube and type in The Hedge at Home. Makes a change. We do this song every time, but only twice a year can we actually do it in May, and it's called May Morning. I'm alive again on a May morning. Gonna wipe the slate clean and follow my dreams. All the yearning buds are here again. With the promise of a new life to come. Spring is here again. The sun is melting over the hill. All our roads are waiting to be revealed. For this day in history has brought us to here. Now it's all there for the taking. The day is what you see. The lights return and work is in hand. All the cynics have vanished from where I stand. All the chances wasted are drawing us near. All around there's a new life rising from the winter fields. I'm alive again. I'm alive again. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive again. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive again. I'm alive. I'm alive again. I'm alive again. There we go, May morning, a slightly different version for you. Yeah, Peter Gebler's just said, so good to hear some great live music, especially after the disastrous election results in the UK. Hear, hear. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to say all my thanks. First of all, I want to thank, she's probably not watching because she's not very well at the moment, but want to thank my daughter Kat, who saved the day and reinstalled drivers and OBS and all sorts of bits and pieces, and actually got us on air. Or, we were half an hour late, but we got on air. So thanks to Kat. Thanks to Mike, Magic Mike at the controls. So thank you, Mike, once again for your work. Thank you to Shadow Sway, to Robin James Hurt and Sophie Janna. I haven't given him a plug this week, Trevor Key. You see, he's had a week off and that really put me off. But Trevor Key's Blowing in the Windham. It's on Mixcloud. New episode will be released on Thursday at about 6 o'clock, I believe. So tune in for that. Details will be coming up at the moment. If you can contribute to Sophie's PayPal Me or Linktree, please do. Or please go and buy her single. She would love that. And then you might get one of those lovely little lino print cards as well. So thank you everybody that's taken part tonight. But as I always say, especially to you for watching, because if you didn't watch, we wouldn't have an audience, and then I'd just be doing this to myself, wouldn't I? So thanks everyone. May your gods go with you. Take care. See you in 2 weeks' time for the Hedge on Holiday with Bob Carter and friends. Till then, bye then!